Take long for Russia to retaliate against the European Union for extending its sanctions. The EU move is intended to keep pressure on Moscow over conflict in eastern Ukraine. The sanctions will stay in place for 6 months until the end of January. CCTV's Anya Ardayeva reports from Moscow.
Kremlin spokesman said on Monday that reciprocity is the basis of Moscow's approach when it comes to Western sanctions. In response to EU extending its sanctions until the end of January, the government has ordered to prolong Russian embargo on American and European fruit, vegetables, meats and dairy for another 6 months. The ban was imposed last year in response to Western sanctions. In May, Russia also imposed travel bans on 89 European politicians.
Both sides of the sanctions have effect, but unfortunately it's a damaged effect. It means that no one wins. And for example, Russia loses a lot because of the lack of not just new goods, but also new technologies that before that time came from Europe.
Under the sanctions, Russian state banks are not allowed to borrow money in the West, and EU nations are banned from making arms deals and selling equipment that can be used for military purposes. An EU statement said the decision was taken without debate by the bloc's foreign ministers in response to Russia's destabilizing role in eastern Ukraine. Moscow denies direct involvement. The Russian Foreign Ministry said in a statement it was deeply disappointed by the extension of what it called illegal restrictions.
When you look at the Crimea situation, it's actually difficult to see how a solution is going to evolve, because clearly we know that from the Russian point of view, Crimea is part of the Russian territory, always was, they've recovered it. So I really don't see any situation whatsoever where Russia will hand back Crimea.
The ministry said it was wrong to hold Russia fully responsible for the implementation of the Minsk peace agreement, adding that the key to settlement was in the hands of Kiev. Fighting between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed rebels has killed more than 6,400 people in Ukraine, despite a February ceasefire. Last week, the 28-nation bloc also extended economic sanctions against Crimea, saying it does not recognize Russia's incorporation of the peninsula. The Russian Foreign Ministry called the move political and economic blackmail. Anya Ardayeva, CCTV, Moscow.